The hidden realities of Sigma males, often ignored by mainstream society, reveal a depth of character and strength that is both intriguing and admirable. Sigma males are the lone wolves, the mavericks who chart their own path without conforming to societal expectations. They possess a unique combination of intelligence, independence, and introspection that sets them apart from the typical alpha and beta males. Despite their preference for solitude, Sigma males are not antisocial. They simply value their own company and the freedom to think and act independently. This detachment allows them to observe and understand the world with a clarity that others often miss. They are not swayed by the need for validation or approval, which gives them a quiet confidence and an unshakable sense of self. Society, however, often misunderstands their introspective nature, mistaking it for aloofness or arrogance. Yet this very trait enables Sigma males to navigate life's challenges with resilience and grace. They are strategic thinkers, capable of seeing the big picture and making decisions that benefit their long-term goals. While their path may seem lonely to some, Sigma males thrive on the strength they draw from within. Understanding these hidden realities sheds light on the true essence of Sigma males, individuals who embody a rare blend of independence, intelligence, and quiet determination. Number 13, they overthink every decision. Sigma men are known for their analytical mindset, which often leads them to overanalyze situations and decisions. Their constant pursuit of understanding and optimizing outcomes drives them to evaluate every possible angle and consequence. While this thorough approach can lead to well-informed decisions, it can also result in paralysis by analysis, where the sheer volume of considerations leads to indecision or excessive deliberation. Sigma men's tendency to foresee potential issues and outcomes can make even simple decisions feel complex and daunting. They often grapple with the fear of making mistakes or overlooking critical factors, which only exacerbates their tendency to overthink. This can cause stress and delay in making choices as they strive to cover all bases and anticipate every possible scenario. While their careful consideration ensures thoroughness, it can also hinder their ability to act decisively, creating a cycle of overthinking that can be both mentally taxing and counterproductive. Number 12, they experience imposter syndrome frequently. Sigma men, despite their capabilities and achievements, often struggle with imposter syndrome. This internal conflict involves a persistent feeling of inadequacy or the belief that they don't deserve their success, despite evidence to the contrary. Their high standards and self-critical nature lead them to question whether they're truly competent or if their accomplishments are merely a result of luck or external factors. This self-doubt can be particularly pronounced in high-stakes situations where they feel their skills and achievements are under scrutiny. Sigma men's tendency to compare themselves to others or to hold themselves to exceptionally high standards only exacerbates these feelings. They might downplay their successes or worry about being exposed as a fraud, even when they're objectively excelling. This struggle with imposter syndrome can create additional stress and hinder their confidence, despite their evident abilities and successes. Number 11, they struggle to find a partner who aligns with their values. Sigma men often find it challenging to connect with a partner who truly shares their values and worldview. Their deep-seated beliefs and strong principles can set them apart, making it difficult to find someone who understands and resonates with their perspective. They value authenticity, independence, and intellectual depth, and often seek a partner who matches these criteria. However, this high standard can lead to a smaller pool of potential partners who genuinely align with their ideals. Many relationships falter because their values are not fully understood or appreciated by their partner, leading to mismatched expectations and frustration. Sigma men are often wary of compromising their core beliefs for the sake of a relationship, which can make dating a complex and sometimes disheartening experience. They may find themselves in relationships where they feel misunderstood or where their principles are challenged, causing them to question the compatibility of their partner. This struggle is not just about finding someone who shares their values, but about finding a meaningful connection that respects and supports their unique outlook on life. Number 10, they often feel like outsiders in social settings. Sigma men frequently experience a sense of detachment or isolation in social situations, feeling like they don't quite fit in with the crowd. Their introspective nature and preference for deep, meaningful interactions can make small talk and superficial social norms feel alien and unfulfilling. While they might be adept at blending into social settings, there is often an underlying feeling of being an outsider, as their values and interests diverge from those of the majority. This sense of not fully belonging can lead to feelings of loneliness or frustration as they navigate social environments that prioritize different values or behaviors. Despite their ability to engage in social interactions when necessary, Sigma men often find themselves feeling more comfortable on the periphery, where they can observe and reflect rather than actively participate. This self-perception as an outsider is not necessarily negative, but reflects their unique approach to social dynamics and their preference for genuine, substantive connections over superficial interactions. Number 9, they have a tendency to hold grudges. Sigma men often find it difficult to let go of past grievances, holding on to grudges long after the initial conflict has passed. Their keen awareness of injustices and their strong sense of fairness can lead them to remember and ruminate on wrongs done to them. This tendency is not necessarily about seeking revenge, but stems from a deep-seated need to process and understand the nature of the offense. For Sigma men, unresolved conflicts can linger in their minds, affecting their interactions and outlook. They may find it challenging to fully forgive or move on, as their analytical nature compels them to dissect the situation repeatedly. This can create tension in relationships and social settings, where their inability to let go of past issues may cause friction or misunderstandings. While holding on to grudges can provide a sense of closure or justice, it can also impede their ability to foster positive, forward-moving relationships and contribute to ongoing emotional strain. Number 8, their mind is always racing, making sleep tough. Sigma men often struggle to get a good night's rest due to their hyperactive minds. Where others find peace at night, their thoughts continue to whirl like an incessant storm. Their brains are perpetually engaged, churning out ideas, analyzing past conversations, or formulating plans for the future. As they try to wind down, their mind insists on replaying events, creating mental checklists, or brainstorming new concepts. This unrelenting mental activity transforms bedtime into a battleground between their need for sleep and their ceaseless thoughts. Nights are spent tossing and turning, or, in some cases, giving up on sleep altogether to dive into late-night projects. While this mental restlessness fuels their creativity and problem-solving skills, it comes at a significant cost. The lack of sleep can lead to fatigue and decreased focus during the day, even as their mind remains in overdrive. For Sigma men, the constant churn of thoughts is both a blessing and a curse, providing drive and insight, but undermining their rest and recuperation. Number 7, questioning useless rules can create conflicts at work. Sigma men have a knack for spotting pointless regulations and inefficiencies in their workplace. They're not rebels for the sake of rebellion, but are driven by a desire for effectiveness and practicality. When faced with bureaucratic red tape or outdated policies, they're quick to question, challenge, and often propose more efficient solutions. While this trait can lead to significant improvements and innovations, it also stirs up trouble. Traditional workplaces, with their established ways of doing things, may view Sigma men as troublemakers or critics. Managers might perceive them as disruptive, while colleagues might think they're trying to undermine the status quo or show off. HR could get involved if their challenges seem too confrontational. Despite their respect for authority, Sigma men prioritize results and efficiency over adhering to outdated rules. Their approach can lead to friction, but it also forces necessary conversations about progress and change. Balancing the drive for improvement with sensitivity to established norms is a delicate dance for Sigma men. Number 6, they're good listeners but terrible at opening up. Sigma men excel at being attentive and empathetic listeners, providing support and understanding without jumping in with advice or solutions. They offer a safe space for others to express their feelings and struggles, often without revealing much about their own. When it comes to their personal issues, however, Sigma men are notably reserved. They prefer to process their thoughts internally, keeping their emotions and challenges closely guarded. This tendency isn't about mistrust, but rather a reflection of their internal processing style. They believe in managing their problems independently, which can make them appear distant or secretive to others. This reluctance to share can create misunderstandings in relationships, where their silence may be interpreted as lack of trust or emotional distance. Despite their deep listening skills, opening up about their own issues feels uncomfortable and foreign. For Sigma men, sharing personal struggles doesn't come naturally and feels like exposing a vulnerability they're not accustomed to revealing. Number 5, they can lead a team but hate being in the spotlight. Sigma men often possess natural leadership abilities and excel in guiding a team through crises or complex projects. They are adept at assessing situations, making decisions, and getting things done efficiently. Despite their capability, they are uncomfortable with the attention and recognition that often accompanies leadership roles. They prefer to operate behind the scenes, leading by example rather than seeking praise or accolades. Their disinterest in self-promotion or public recognition can be misconstrued as aloofness or detachment. They may avoid the spotlight during meetings or leadership activities, focusing instead on solving problems quietly. This approach can be both a strength and a challenge. While it fosters respect from team members who value their results-driven style, it may also lead to perceptions of distance or disinterest. Higher-ups might overlook them for promotions or accolades, favoring those who actively seek the limelight. For Sigma men, leading effectively often means balancing their desire to remain out of the spotlight with the need to be recognized for their contributions. Number 4, their confidence looks like arrogance to most people. Sigma men are often misunderstood due to their self-assured nature, which can be mistaken for arrogance. Their confidence stems from a deep-seated sense of self-worth and comfort in their own skin, rather than a desire to impress or outshine others. When a Sigma man enters a room, he doesn't seek validation or admiration, he's simply himself. This can come off as aloofness or arrogance to those who are accustomed to more overt displays of self-importance. In professional settings, Sigma men might voice disagreements or present unconventional ideas without fear, which can intimidate or unsettle colleagues. In personal relationships, their straightforward approach and lack of need for validation can be misinterpreted as indifference. Sigma men's confidence is often mistaken for arrogance because it contrasts sharply with the more socially motivated behaviors expected by others. This misperception can lead to social isolation or negative judgments, reinforcing the Sigma man's feeling of being an outsider in a world that values conformity. Number 3, they hate small talk but can't escape it. Sigma men find small talk excruciatingly dull and draining. They crave meaningful conversations that delve into deeper topics and challenge their intellect. But the reality of social interactions often involves superficial chatter about mundane topics like the weather or recent TV shows. This necessity to engage in small talk feels like a waste of their time and energy, leading to frustration and a sense of disconnection. They may struggle with the social expectation to participate in these trivial exchanges, feeling like they're playing a role in a script they never chose. The contrast between their desire for profound dialogue and the shallow nature of small talk creates a persistent inner conflict. This discomfort isn't just about introversion, but a genuine yearning for authentic connection. Navigating the social world's preference for light conversation while seeking deeper engagement is an ongoing challenge for Sigma men, who find themselves caught between the need for social interaction and their quest for substantive connection. Number 2, they're seen as secretive but really just hate explaining themselves. Sigma men often come across as mysterious or secretive, but this perception misrepresents their true nature. They aren't hiding anything, rather. They find the process of explaining their thoughts, actions, or decisions tedious and draining. For them, discussing the minutiae of their reasoning feels like a waste of their mental energy. They prefer to operate independently and may struggle to understand why others demand detailed justifications for their actions. This tendency to avoid extensive explanations can lead to misconceptions about their character, with others filling in gaps with their own assumptions and labeling them as enigmatic. Sigma men's reluctance to engage in detailed self-explanation isn't about secrecy but about valuing their mental space and time. The result is a reputation for being aloof or difficult, when in reality they simply prioritize efficiency and find extensive elaboration unnecessary. Number 1, their blunt honesty often hurts people's feelings. Sigma men are known for their unfiltered honesty, which can sometimes lead to discomfort or offense. They are straightforward and direct, offering their true opinions without sugarcoating, whether it's about a haircut, a work idea, or any other matter. While their intention is not to be unkind but to provide genuine feedback, most people are not accustomed to such raw honesty. Society often prefers polite, tactful responses, and when faced with a Sigma's unvarnished truth, it can feel like a slap in the face. Sigma men may struggle to understand why their honesty is met with upset or resistance, as they view it as a virtue rather than a fault. This trait can create tension in professional and personal relationships, with Sigma men potentially earning a reputation for being harsh or insensitive. They value truth over tact and find it challenging to navigate a world that often values emotional cushioning over straightforwardness. Thank you for your attention. You can now become a member of the channel by clicking the join button under this video.